How we doing? How are we doing? Let's check to see if we're live. First off, and then we'll do some artwork today for the Eberron adventure that we're writing. Just give me a fast second here to see if I'm up and running. Looks like I have a card. There it is. Okay, great. Yeah, so we're up and running. Let me go ahead and drop this volume down there. Okay, great. Yeah. We have enough people to playtest martial powers now. So my Mondays will be changing. This is going to be this upcoming Monday will be the last Monday that I will be streaming in the evening for the foreseeable future. So this will be the last one. So catch up with me Monday nights. We'll see what we get into. So that means that I will be streaming lunchtimes on either Mondays or Wednesdays, probably until May 2025. And so that'll be a mild change in my schedule. But yeah, so 5:30 till 9 p.m. Seattle time, Pacific Standard Time. From the 25th, which is this Monday forward, I will basically be building out with a playtesting team of 5 to mess around with the martial power system from level 3 to 10. Expecting to spend a month on each level, and so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 8 months: November, December, January, February, March, April, May, and into June. So assuming we have some breaks along there, the Eberron adventure will be published by then. Before then, probably. And we'll be shifting our attention to color mana and Spelljammer stuff. And then my super side project will be the Guild and Kingdom system for building organizations, businesses, settlements, communities, kingdoms, megapolises for 5e games or anything that rolls a d20, basically Shadow Dark, whatever you want. It'll work with any of those systems. So keep an eye out for that. I am attempting to press buttons here. The page illustrations. And yeah, okay, cool. So that's coming along just fine. I am attempting to press buttons here. Sorry, I'm out of sorts at the moment, apparently. Check. Let's get Eberron here. Delete. Check. And okay, cool. So it looks like I got all that up and running. And let's fix my screens here real quick. I'm on the X Twitter platform at Phil Kearney, if you are as well. I post early looks, coupons. We just had an article in Polygon for the Subclasses Revivified product that I created the subclasses for. So if you want to jump to my X Twitter account at Phil Kearney, you can check out Polygon there. Pretty cool book. And well, hey Karen, long time no see. On YouTube here at Phil Kearney. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. Here's the full playlist of all 357 episodes. Here's our Discord community. If you want to support me on Patreon, God bless you. And here's a bunch of books that I've written. They're all 5e supplements on D&D. So be welcome to check that stuff out. They all have free previews, so enjoy. If you like any of it, be welcome to consider picking them up. So, oh, God. All right. Wow, God, I hope you have a fast heal. God, there's oil in my eye. Oh, there we go. Timer's going. I've got about an hour that I can play this morning. So Eberron Adventure. This is a 16 by 9 format, so that this fits on a tablet or or phone, as well as on desktops. The aspect ratio here of width is the 16 by 9. Well, it's technically 17 inches by 10, and we're using a 12-point base font for the text, which is pretty big. And the each vertical column is 10 inches tall and 5.6 inches wide. So that's also a 16:9 aspect ratio. So if you tilt your device up horizontally, you can read it one panel at a time. And if you flump your phone sideways like this, you can look at the full page all at once. So like on spreads like this, where you're looking at multiple images, it might be more fun just to look at it here. And if you're using a tablet with a 12-point font, you can probably read it as is the entire display. Here, let me do this. There, aspect ratio. If you're on a tablet, that's probably legible to you right now. So illustrations can sprawl across panels. There's no rules about how artwork, what position artwork can be placed in the document, but all of the columns of text have to be self-contained ideas. There can be generally I'm not having a topic of conversation spill over to the next column. If there's need for more than one column of space to get across the information, I reorganize it so it's in a smaller chunk of data that can be placed piecemeal across the document. And wherever there are gaps in the text, that's where we put our images and stuff. So like here, we had a little block of text that's empty at the bottom of the about the information about taking short and long rests during the adventure. So I'll do a little campfire scene of characters in the forest, which is highly likely to happen in this adventure. Here's all the, right now we're working on icons for visibility conditions, terrain conditions, and hazards, technically. It's called conditions and terrain, but there are hazards like piercing damage. When a creature enters this space or begins its turn here, it takes D6 points of piercing damage. That's a threat that some of the flora, the Mabaran plants, the razor, the ferric vines that basically grow out of bones. They basically, if something dies in the manifest zone, the magics of the plane of Mabar, which is like a black-green sort of energy, it causes the bones to warp, grow, root into the ground, and then have a bunch of spear-like offshoots from it. So it's this prickly bush of basically modified bone, as a plant in the plane of Mabar. So if you enter space with it, it automatically deals piercing damage because it's like a little thicket of thorns. Anyway, so we get to create an icon for that. So like maybe something like this. This probably isn't a bad idea. Let's just bring that in a touch. So when we go into different areas or regions in the adventure, as the conditions change or new threats appear in those areas, we place icons into that area so you can see. Oh yeah, like in this piece of in this cave, it's dim light and there's light fog, and you can acquire the poison condition inside of there. Oh, that's wonderful. Healing music is so good. Something like that. And so let's look at the poison condition. We know the universal sign for poison is bah. So we're going to just stick with tradition. Sicken. What would Sicken be like? Okay, so poisoned is when you're occupying this environment or space, creatures gain the poison condition. Rolling attack rolls and ability checks are with disadvantage. In the sickened condition, whenever a creature enters or begins its turn in this space, it must succeed a Constitution saving throw, DC 15, or it can't take any actions this turn. So that's just the sickening cloud. Is that what it's called? Poisoning, gaseous cloud, poisonous cloud. Anyway, there's a spell that makes you sickened, and this duplicates that spell effect. Let's see. So what would sickened be like? Maybe a smiley face with X's on it. That seems like the dead condition. Oh man. Light fog, exhaustion, difficult terrain. God, what would exhaustion be? These are tricky. Difficult terrain. I think I want to do I want to do footprints. Perhaps. And then something like let's merge these down. Something like that. Now I'm noticing, Karen, it's really fun that you came by, because I'm noticing that I'm less talkative than I was the last time you were here. And honestly, I don't know what that's all about. I haven't been nearly as chatty lately. I don't know. I honestly don't know why that is, but I am definitely observing a down kick and just random chatter. I don't think that's healthy. Let's take this and bring that in a smidge. There. Retransform. Flip horizontal. Line it up. There we go. Cut, paste. Text. Over the last few months, I have been busy with work, doctor's visits, and otherwise preparing for this. Right on. Holy Hannah, right on. I hope you have a fast recovery. I don't know if it was like a spur or what was going on. Typically when people have foot surgery, it's either because they have like a torn tendon or something like in their heel, or they have a spur, both of which is complete shit fests. So good luck. I hope staying off your feet gives you the power to be light on your feet when you return to them. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Oh boy, exhaustion. I guess let's refer to the DMG. So we want, we have poison, we want sickened, and so let's go to 5e condition illustrations. Yeah, these are way more complicated. And look, they skipped it for exhaustion. They have deafened, and they just kind of squeezed exhaustion in there. I love this illustration. That's such a great one. Petrified. Ah, poison. He's got the little baubles over him. That's not a bad idea. He's got baubles over his head too, though. Baubles over here, and blobbles over here. What does stun do? A stunned creature can't move. Yeah, move can't take. Can speak only falteringly. A stunned creature is incapacitated, can't move, and can't speak. Can only speak haltingly, and so incapacitated, can't take actions or reactions. So, the stun condition is basically this is like a more intense version of the sickened condition. The stun condition has bubbles over his head. The poison condition has bubbles over his head. If we go with the traditional skull and crossbones for poison, then that frees up bubbles over the head for sickened. So, and that would be, I think, fairly self-reinforcing with those little bubble effects. So let's see, maybe like cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Yeah, I bet it isn't. Boom. Yep, there you go. Yep. Whew, wow. There. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. Geez, that's going to be a relief when it heals up. I like the general idea of this. Let's just see. Thank you, Timely Timer. Keeping time with me. I still got 40 minutes. Man on in. Nice. Good. It's silly. It's self-defining. If I say this means sickened, and then you see this, and it refers to the sickened condition inside of the text, I'm being truthful, and you're gonna have to take my word for it. But hopefully, Feels like, okay. Crossed. Sad eyes. And then once we have these established, we basically just cut and paste them and just drop them anywhere they're needed inside of the adventure. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it functions. I'm going to put this in the mental hopper and see if it can tumble out the back end with something a little more. Part 1 is the village and the forest. Part 2 is the manifest zone, cemetery, flooded fort, and gatehouse. Part 3 is the underground facility. And then Appendix A is new creatures. Appendix 2 is magic items and oddities. And then Appendix 3 are alternate plot hooks and creating a campaign. So that's what those icons will be across the floor. Part 1, 2, and 3. Maybe I'll drop the Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3 buttons and just leave them as locations. And so like just have like the village, the forest, the manifest zone, cemetery, flooded fort, gatehouse, underground facility, and then Appendix 1, 2, and 3. That would eliminate that would eliminate those two buttons. We have table of contents here. We have running the game. And then we have the deputized plot hook. And that's relevant. The deputized plot hook is the alternate plot hooks in Appendix 3. So it feels like that's relevant. But it might not be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, fucking 13. Yeah, I gotta leave deputized in there, even though it's a cheesy benchmark. It is worth referencing because your character's gonna want to bounce back and look at like rewards or additional assets that they achieve that they attain. So I guess having it there as a button feels relevant. So we can get away with that. My brain is chafing that these lines here, this symbol and this symbol, are like one line off from each other. Like if I just drop the elevation down just a bit, they'll line up properly. Is that true? It feels like it is. I can't raise this up. If I raise this up, I pinch. I hate that there's not much to say about bright light, but I mean it is what it is. You just see in it. There's not much else to say about that. I don't want to overcomplicate it. And I can't compress the precipitation and the wind condition, the climate. I can't compress that anymore. We keep 2-line gap between these subjects on purpose. So that's a consistent formatting, text formatting, so I can't squeeze space there. And this is the top of the line. I don't want to get any closer in the margins. So I guess I could drop this down, but that feels goofy. So, but I guess I mean, since we're here, I guess since we're experimenting with it, we could experiment with it. So I'm going to duplicate here real quick. And if it turns out that I can squeeze an extra line of text in, then I guess I'll just add in some more flowery language to flesh that out. So let's first see if it's possible. Like, what kind of spacing do we get out of it? I want to... Yeah, do like this. Copy, paste. Perfect. So that gives us the extra line of text that we were looking for there. And let's see. Bop, 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 bop. Okay, let's grab this. Copy that. Sorry, we're getting a little clunky in here. Paste there. And let's see, the next thing we want to do is do this again, because we know it works. God damn it. Come on, Kearney. Okay, cool. And we can copy and paste. Conceal that. No, we leave that out. We grab this and this together, and we bring these down. Perfect. No, it seems like no. Yeah, they're still off a bit. Huh. I guess, okay, we know for a fact I can add a line of text here, and it'll drop down, and it'll almost be even, but it's still a little off. If I'm here and I try to bring it up, that might actually be the nominal solution. It'd just be easier for me to just drop the whole column down just a smidge, though. I could do that. I could just add in an extra couple ticks in here. That should. No, okay, here it's still lower. Why is that lower? There, that lines up. I need another half line of space in here. That's where we're at. Another half-inch space inside of here somewhere. I don't have any patterning that really is consistent with that. Hold on, there's things that are going on. Why are there things going on? Yeah, we're doing fine. Okay. Huh. It seems like the nominal solution would be to trim this line. Throughout the adventure, regions and areas are considered to have bright light unless indicated otherwise by the corresponding. This is this is where my opportunity is. Give me a hot second here to peel open the document. Crystals of Avar. There we go. This is where I gain my line. Throughout the adventure, regions and areas have different levels of visibility as indicated by the corresponding symbols. Throughout the adventure, regions and areas have throughout the adventure the different degrees of visibility are indicated by the corresponding symbols listed below. There we go. And what is that, a 5? Yeah, it's supposed to be. That's true. Where can I... Oh my god, there's actually a gap there. Okay, this is freaking fantastic. So what is this, 16? That's a 20-point font. I don't have any precedence for a 20-point font mid-column. I think this is the first instance of that, so this is fucking great. Let's get this here to line up with that. Perfect. I see you being off kilter again. What I need is this symbol here and here to line up, actually. So I need to shorten this. I actually need to shorten this to make that work. There we go. Now everything actually lines up. So the proper course of action for me is to just simply destroy this line. So grab this. Here. I'm going to let me grab the text. Perfect. There, we're going to merge that down. And now we're going to pull the whole structure up. There. There. Now we're lined up. Now we can get rid of that. Thank you for your service. Now we have our icons lined up. That was a whole lot of bother, huh? A whole lot of bother. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Left. Right. So I have left column, right column, center column. There. So we'll take the left column. Woo! Last 20? Yeah, last 20. Aw. There. All right, that was an arduous task. Whew, what a pain that took us, but we got it figured out. So good. Try sad eyes. So we're back on the we're back on the sad eyes of sickness. Let's see. That's not bad. On your first impression, he looks sad and he has bubbles going on. I think that can pass as sickened. and it's a little cute. That's got that Pip-Boy sort of idea that I was talking about last session. I didn't have power on Tuesday night, so that's why I wasn't here yesterday morning. But obviously that got resolved. Wait, what? You're actually part of it? God damn it. Kearney. Wait a second, there's something weird going on. Why is that? What is going on? Come on. What are you all about? All my shit's all hooky dude. There, okay, great. Can we restore order to this crazy universe? Clocks. Okay, this one appears to be in order. Pardon the pun. There they are. This task was far too arduous. Bump, 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 there. Now we got our shit figured out. So, sickened, poisoned, piercing. We have heavy fog, we need light fog. There's exhaustion, and then difficult terrain. Maybe for difficult terrain, and add an element, like the treaded shoes, and like maybe nah, that just seems confusing. But it feels like there should be some sort of like that doesn't feel quite right. Nah, that doesn't feel right. We'll figure it out. Meantime, Exhaustion. I think that works. I'll work on it a little bit, but simple Z's. I mean, it's very basic, very simple. I think it gets the point across. Let's see if we can maybe angle this stuff. Exhaustion, nothing. There. This gets duplicated. There we go. I'm having layer issues. If we transform. Oh, this is feeling better already. Maybe something like, what about, we could do like a grid pattern. Something like this, maybe. Duplicate. Duplicate. Centered. Footprint. Duplicate. That. Yeah, no, I don't like that. I like the footprints. I just feel like I want to add something to this, you know? Maybe, I spy with my eyes some text scrolling to the side. Let me go ahead and see what we can see. Maybe add rocks. Oh, maybe that would be the right one. Yeah, I think this is gonna. I think this is looking a little bit too structured, right? Yeah, it doesn't indicate roughness, right? Difficult terrain. That does, but maybe it's just a matter of free transform, flip. Yeah, no, you're right. It just needs irregularity. No, I don't want. I want to have that. Well, that's kind of cheeky. Geez, maybe just the shoes themselves are okay, or maybe I can. No. Huh. What about, what if instead we'll go... Let's fill these in. So they're a silhouette again. I love these challenges. This is why we get paid the big bucks, you know? I somehow lost the shouldness to this shoe. Maybe that's the secret of a good shoe print, is separating the heel. Anyway, the idea here was to put an X in the foot. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, pretty good with that. Heavy fog obscures vision beyond 20 feet and heavily obscures vision beyond another 20 feet. Light fog. Heavy fog. Light fog. Is that still left flawed like that, or did I fix that already? Going back into the document. Light fog. Light fog lightly obscures vision beyond 40 feet and heavily obscures vision beyond another 40 feet. Lightly obscured is capitalized because it's a game term now, as is heavily obscures. Yeah. Fixed. Cool. There we go. Yeah, those are the two ranges we have. There's either no fog, or it's 40-80, or it's 20-40. It just depends on the density of the fog. The light fog appears in the manifest zone throughout the manifest zone, but once you go into the underground complex, the heavy fog in that area has heavy fog, which is 20-40. So 20 feet for lightly obscured, and then beyond 40 feet. So like they're just within counterspell range. Counterspell is 30 feet, and this has maximum visibility of 40 feet, which is 8 squares, which isn't horrible. The light fog, that being 16 squares of visibility. You have 8 squares of clear vision, and then of only lightly obscured. Obscures vision beyond 40 feet. So 20 feet of clear space, and then 20 feet of obscured space. 40 feet of clear air, and then 40 feet extra of lightly obscured, and then it disappears altogether. In the heavy fog, you only have 20 feet of light visibility, so that's just outside. That's just inside of counterspell range, and then light fog outside is just outside of counterspell range. But basically, what this means is that when you're in the manifest zone, running around in the 5-mile area that the manifest zone occupies. You're only going to see basically 8 squares at a time on your team. So you don't have to have a large overland map. You're only feeding them chunks of basically 40-foot spaces at a time. So an obstacle or a structure will appear out of the mist within 40 feet, and then you deal with what's that. But the undead, their vision, they have clear vision in the manifest zone. Their vision isn't hindered at all, so they can hunt you through the mist, and you can't see them as they're chasing after you. Only when they catch up to you and come out of the mist at you do you know that you've been caught by something. So there's no free time. There's no here they come, let's attack them. It's once you get inside the manifest zone, it's very claustrophobic. Ranged weapons, distant attacks don't really make that much of a difference because you're shooting blind at that point. So I'm liking these. These are turning out pretty nicely. I think I need to better distinguish the Z's, how this guy looks, but I think this is absolutely the right path. Maybe like this. Okay, oh, I'm out of time. I gotta go. 7:55. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. We'll probably clean these up a little bit, and then maybe we'll work on the campfire picture, or we'll work on something. I don't know. We just keep working on stuff every day until we get it done. Off screen, I'm still doing. So we got about 45 of the 104 pages. Layouts resolved to a point where we can do work on them. So as we continue pushing artwork in the front end of the document, I'm continuing to do layouts and cleanups of the text at the back end of the document, and eventually the artwork will catch up. Once I'm done with the other 58 pages of layout that I need to do, I suspect I'll have that done by early December. At that point, the time that I'm spending off screen to do the page editing, I will then be able to use on actually doing artwork as well. Here in the mornings, I can ideate, create new ideas, and mess around with some fun components, and then do grunt work like futzing with page text and stuff like that you just saw. I can do that off screen and then work on rendering and finishing details, so that I'll be able to, like, I've got like 2 or 3 hours a day off screen that I can work on the page layouts that you don't see me working on. That will then turn into me doing artwork daily as well, to help collapse time frames so we can move forward more quickly with it. But this is getting into the pipeline and spiraling. It's starting to spiral much faster, and so as we continue to knock down components, we'll be making more and more strides. And then once this resolves, we'll be focusing more on the color mana updates and the Spelljammer supplement updates. And then at the back end of that, we've got the Guilds and Kingdom system for 4X style Civ type of gameplay, which I am very much looking forward to getting back into. So, yeah, hey, thanks a lot. You're very welcome. I hope to see you around, and have a great day. And everyone else, see you on the other side as well. I'll be back, what is this, Thursday? I'll be back tonight at 6 p.m. Seattle time, 9 p.m. East Coast time, to work on. I think we're going to continue work. I think we're going to work on the background translations for Ravnica, Strixhaven, and Theros, as well as the Renowned Piety for those 3 settings from MTG into D&D 5e. That's because we now have a team assembled for us to start playtesting. I want to get all those mechanics locked down so they can build out their characters proper. Bob's your uncle. There you go. So anyway, okay, that's it. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.